In the gritty world of hip-hop, where street cred and business acumen collide, a seismic clash has erupted, threatening to reshape the power dynamics of the industry. Tony Yayo, the outspoken G-Unit soldier, has thrust himself into the spotlight, accusing J. Prince, the revered yet feared founder of Houston's Rap-A-Lot Records, of orchestrating what could be one of the most audacious extortion schemes in hip-hop history. Let's dive into the origins of this beef, unpack the explosive allegations, and explore why this showdown could change hip-hop's unwritten rules forever. The roots of the rivalry. To understand this clash, we need to rewind to the early 2000s, when 50 Cent emerged as a force of nature. His relentless feuds with Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, and Murder Inc. established him as a rapper who thrived on confrontation. G-Unit, his crew featuring Tony Yayo, Lloyd Banks, and Young Buck, operated with a militant mindset. No compromises, no alliances. With street gatekeepers and definitely no checking in. This philosophy put 50 on a collision course with J. Prince, a man whose name is synonymous with control in Houston's hip-hop scene. J. Prince, born James Smith, founded Rap-A-Lot Records in 1986, nurturing talents like the Ghetto Boys and cementing his influence in Southern rap. Beyond music, he's a street-certified mogul who commands respect and fear in Houston. For decades, artists visiting the city were expected to check in with Prince, a ritual framed as paying respects, but often interpreted as a protection fee. Failure to comply could mean leaving without jewelry, or worse. This system, rooted in street politics, has been a quiet but powerful force in hip-hop, especially in Houston. Cent, however, was never one to play by those rules. His G-Unit brand was built on defiance, and his move to Houston in 2021 set the stage for a turf war. 50 didn't relocate for clout, he had strategic reasons. New York's high taxes were eating into his empire, and Houston offered lower costs, more space, and a thriving hip-hop market. His Branson Cognac and Sire Spirits brands needed a southern hub, and Houston's liquor scene was ripe for expansion. But moving to J. Prince's backyard without checking in was a bold statement, one Prince allegedly took as a direct challenge. The check-in system, protection, or extortion. At the core of this beef is the controversial check-in system. Tony Yayo, in a fiery Vlad TV interview, laid bare what he sees as the truth. The check-in is a glorified extortion racket. According to Yayo, artists are pressured to pay for protection when they arrive in cities like Houston, under the guise of respect. Refuse, and you risk robbery, violence, or worse. Yayo emphasized that G-Unit never played this game, moving militant with their own security to avoid owing favors to street figures like J. Prince. Yayo's claims echo broader sentiments in hip-hop. Cameron and Mache, on their It Is What It Is podcast, blasted Prince for acting like a 60-year-old clout chaser, arguing that real OGs uplift artists, not extort them. They dismissed the big homie mentality as outdated, especially for artists who've already made it. NBA YoungBoy's 2021 incident in Houston further fuels these allegations. After refusing to check in, his home was allegedly robbed. Chains, cash, and car keys stolen. J. Prince later posted a video claiming he'd recovered the goods, but YoungBoy called it a publicity stunt, accusing Prince of exploiting the situation for clout rather than resolving it privately. The check-in system's darker side has also been linked to tragic outcomes. Rumors swirl that Takeoff's 2022 death following a dice game in Houston stemmed from tensions over not checking in properly. Sources allege Prince's crew was instructed to teach a lesson that went horribly wrong, resulting in Takeoff's fatal shooting. Similarly, jeweler Duke the Jeweler was robbed and killed after winning $100,000 in a Houston dice game, with whispers of rigged setups tied to Prince's circle. While Prince has denied involvement, deflecting blame in interviews, these incidents paint a chilling picture of a system that punishes non-compliance. Cents Power moves in Houston. While J. Prince allegedly tried to enforce his check-in rule, 50 Cent was busy rewriting Houston's narrative. In 2021, he announced his move to the city on Twitter, saying, "I love New York, but I live in Houston now, I'll explain later." The move wasn't just about taxes, it was about building an empire. 50 planned a $20 million G-Unit film and TV studio in Houston, promising jobs and internships. But the project abruptly shifted to Shreveport, Louisiana, with 50 citing better infrastructure and tax incentives. Insiders, however, suggest street politics played a role. Prince's alleged no-fly zone made Houston too volatile. Despite this setback, 50 didn't retreat. He embedded himself in Houston's community, earning accolades that eclipsed Prince's shadow. In 2022, Mayor Sylvester Turner declared November 24th 50 Cent Day and gave him a key to the city during the Thanksgiving Day Parade. Turner praised 50's G-Unity Foundation for mentoring high schoolers and fostering entrepreneurship. The crowd roared as 50 stood tall, a stark contrast to Prince's behind-the-scenes maneuvering. Its philanthropy spoke louder than any street code. Through G-Unity, he launched turkey drives, toy giveaways, and school donations. While Prince allegedly intimidated artists, 50 was building community centers and feeding families. Tony Yayo's bombshell. The beef reached a boiling point when Tony Yayo took to Vlad TV to air out J. Prince's alleged tactics. Yayo didn't mince words, calling the check-in system a scam designed to line pockets. He recounted how G-Unit avoided these traps by moving militant, relying on their own security and assistance to handle errands, keeping artists out of harm's way. Who really runs Houston? As the dust settles, one question looms. Who truly runs Houston? J. Prince, the street boss who's held the city in a chokehold for decades, or 50 Cent, the outsider who's won the people's hearts? Prince's influence is undeniable, but his methods, alleged intimidation, dice game setups, and check-in fees, feel like a fading playbook. 50, on the other hand, is playing chess, using philanthropy, business, and media to outmaneuver his rival. Tony Yayo's expose has pulled back the curtain on hip-hop's dark side, forcing a reckoning with the systems that govern it. Is 50 a hero exposing a corrupt code, or is he pushing too far, risking a war he can't win? The streets may belong to Prince, but the city belongs to 50. As this saga unfolds, one thing's clear. The check-in empire might be on its last legs, and hip-hop's power structure may never be the same. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more content. Thank you.